Hi there, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. My name is Melanie, and today, as we near the end of 2021, I thought I would do a little page kit slash chat with me. Have your cup of coffee or tea ready, and we're just going to talk about what's coming up in 2022, what I'm thinking about, where I'm hoping to head in as far as my YouTube channel goes, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. So be sure to leave comments below before you leave this video. So I've got two paper pads here, both by Parklane. I picked them up from Joann's during Black Friday. This one is Floral Wonders and this one is Sonoma. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to make page kits out of these. I have not really looked at them since I bought them. So my thought is I'm going to make some page kits. If I can out of them, you know my normal style. If I find I'm struggling, then we'll pull in my stash and we'll go from there. I can't guarantee I'm going to get through both of these. I don't want this video to be too long, so probably will be one and then the other will be in a separate video. Okay, so first thing I always do is like to take the papers apart, or take the pads apart and sort into colors and anything that I would consider a page kit starter. Okay, so as I work through this, let's talk a little bit about 2021 before I move into 2022. So I did a really concentrated focus this past year on my stash. I pretty much went through and organized everything, and does it need to be reorganized again? Yes, it's a constant thing, you guys. Like I am not someone that's ever going to keep it completely neat and tidy. It's just, that's just not who I am. So yes, it does need a little bit of work, but overall, I would say it's held up really well. I have a couple of things that need some additional work because I've changed my spending habits. So namely, signing up to be a Creative Memories demonstrator. I ended up buying a whole bunch of their punches, and that kind of has really messed up that area, if you understand what I'm saying. I've exceeded capacity. So we're gonna need to do a little bit of work there. But overall, I think the year went really well. I am very pleased with my progress. I haven't done any sort of organizing really since September, so you can only imagine how much TLC it needs, especially because I was super busy with crafting and I don't always clean up right away as I go. So okay, now that all my faults are out there and you guys are all very familiar with them, let's talk about 2022. Basically, at this point, I'm at capacity, you guys. Like, I mean, there are pockets where I still have a little bit of room, but overall, by and large, I am at capacity. So there's a couple things that need to be done, right? I either need to get rid of stuff, I either need to use up stuff, and I need to stop bringing in stuff. And I think it's not a one-size solution fits all. I think it is going to be a combination of all of the above. I am going to go through my entire stash again, and to be honest, I will probably do that every year. I think familiarity with what you have in your space helps you use it. So that is definitely something I will be doing. I will be walking through everything. As I am looking at stuff, I want to be very critical about what it is that I have and what it is that I'm going to use the product for. So a little bit about me. I love everything. If you haven't figured that out yet, I have certain tendencies where I lean towards a little more of the bright and cheerful, clean, I wouldn't say simple, but less grungy, more clean in that perspective. And I do love color. I love all the colors. I love texture. And I like all the styles, you know. I like a vintage look. I like modern. I do like clean and simple. So part of my problem is that I see potential in everything. And so even if something is not exactly what I would naturally gravitate towards, I think of it as a challenge and that I need to, you know, try and use it in some way, or, you know, try and find a way that I can make it work for me and what I like. So what that means, of course, is that I keep everything. And I also like to do everything. So if I'm watching a YouTube video and someone does a new technique, I love it and I want to try it for myself. I'm not one that just likes to see, I want to experience. Unfortunately, I should say fortunately, I have a full-time job to pay for all of this. And that job, you know, can be very demanding at times, which means even though I don't have a, you know, immediate family with kids and stuff to look after, I still do put in enough hours, and my job is actually going to be changing this year. I'm moving up, so I did get a promotion, which is very exciting, but unfortunately, or fortunately, it means additional responsibilities. And I'm not sure how that's all going to play out. So it'll be an interesting year. Okay, so I've gone off on a little bit of a tangent. Back to what I was talking about. I love everything. I like everything. I want to do everything. I see things and then I'm like, yes, I want to do that. So I buy this stuff to do it, thinking, oh, I'll get to it at some point in time. And that just never seems to happen. So this year, I'm calling it the year of the stash. And what I mean by that is it's a year where my entire focus from a crafting perspective is on my stash, on my crafting supplies that I have already currently in my space. I need to revisit everything. If I love it, great, keep it, figure out a way to use it. If I don't love it, then maybe it's time to lose it, for lack of a better term. Sometimes you love things and then you no longer love things. Or sometimes you've used something so much that it no longer holds the appeal. And sometimes your styles change. And so when I say that I may not like something, if you like that yourself and that is something that you would easily use, I'm not discounting that, okay? It's just in my point of my crafting life, that's where I'm at, where that is not something that appeals to me, and I am prepared at that point in time to let it go. And it will either mean donating it to someone who can use it, or possibly do some sort of giveaways here if that's something you guys would be interested in. If you are, make sure you leave a comment below. I don't want to get rid of my stuff though just to cause problems elsewhere. So it would be more of a, I want you guys to be critical in your thinking as well. I don't want you just to adopt more stuff just because. So I hope that makes sense. Anyways, if you are interested, let me know below. If there's enough interest, I can look at coming up with a way of distributing the stuff that I will be removing from my craft space. It also means, so focusing on my stash also means that I have a lot of stuff in here that I have not used, or rather I have not used to its full potential. So let's take stamp sets, for instance. I have a lot of stamp sets. I used to sell Stampin' Up, and to be honest, a lot of times I would buy a stamp set and use it once and then never really get back to it again because the next great thing was coming. And I still love a lot of those images, and so I do want to use them. It's just I don't make a concerted effort to do so, and I would really like to do that this year. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to use every single stamp set in my collection this year, but I would like to make an effort to do that. Now what I've been doing in the past, probably a couple of years, is every time I use a stamp set, a die, stencil, or whatever, I tuck in a piece of paper and write the year or the date on it that I last used it. That way I'll get a feel if it's something that I've used in the last couple of years or not. Some things obviously I have used previously and won't have that, but there are some things in my stash that I definitely have never used, and I know which ones they are. I have a pretty good memory when it comes to that. Okay, that being said, I also want to be clear that doesn't mean that I'm saying no buying at all. I do want to have a more directed approach with my purchases, and that I'm very conscious about what I'm buying and not buying just because it's on sale or because I'm grumpy and it will make me happy. Although there may be some of that, but maybe instead of buying a whole lot of stuff, I just buy one thing. So in other words, just trying to be a little more deliberate in my purchases. Okay, back to the project at hand. I've sorted all the papers into colors. So these are like black and grays. This is a metallic. These are kind of a yellow. Surprise, surprise, I have a ton of pink. Seriously, you guys, I think pink is the most popular scrapbook color next to turquoise or teal or whatever color you want to call it. I have what I consider greens. And then I only have a couple kit starters. So I'm not too sure how far we're going to get with this, but we'll start with what we've got and we'll go from there. The other thing I want to focus on is those projects that I've purchased supplies for that I've either started or haven't even started yet, and trying to make a dent in some of them. This goes along the same lines with classes that I have signed up for. You know how it goes, right? You sign up for class, great intentions, and then it all kind of falls through. Well, yeah, that's been me. I really want to make an effort to try and tackle some of those things and either get them done or at least get them started. By focusing that, of course, I will start to use up my stash, which is a good thing. So along those lines, in the month of February, in the last few years, I have participated in something called Finish It February. So I will definitely be participating in that again. And I am a bit, well, disconcerted maybe to say that I will probably be working on my 2019 cruise album. I know you guys know I gave this a try back in the late summer, early fall to try and finish that album. I'm so close, you guys. I have about 20 layouts left to do. It's just September ended up being a crazy month for work, and I just, between that and I was doing the fall challenge and the Croptoberfest, it just didn't happen. So I'm a little bit disappointed in myself on that part, but February is coming up, and so I'm hoping to just give that a real good push. So if that's something that you are interested in playing along with, I would highly encourage you to, to think about it and come up with some project that you want to work on. February is a shorter month. I usually think of it as 4 weeks. And it's a great motivator to just get those projects finished. Okay, the other thing that I'm doing to help is I will be participating in the Smash Your Stash collaboration that I did last year, which was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And it really challenged me to work on using up some different items in my stash, things like buttons and sequins and, I don't know, just the ribbon and stuff that, maybe you haven't used as much in a while. And so it's really encouraged me to use things that I haven't used in a while, which is good. That's what I need, right? I need to be challenged in that way. So if that's also something that you are interested in playing along with, of course you can when we release what it is that we're focusing on for the month. Just be sure to share with me what you're working on and we can encourage each other. Speaking of encouraging each other, I have 2 Facebook groups if you're not already familiar. One is an organizing Facebook group, primarily dealing with organization stuff. That's where I post links to my organization videos. And then the second one is more on the crafting side of things. You can join both, or you can join one or the other. Both of them, like I said, have a different focus. And I did that because I have different people in my audience that are here for different reasons. If you join those Facebook groups, of course, we can start a thread and encourage each other and share, exactly what it is that we have accomplished in the month. The Facebook groups also act as a tool for me to to communicate and interact with you a little bit more. I really am hoping to develop a community, and as such, in addition to the groups themselves, I am offering a monthly Zoom virtual crop time, and I call it a crop time, crafting time, whatever you want to call it. Some people organize, some people craft, some people just come and talk. It really doesn't matter. It's all about just fellowship and having fun together, and you know, working or focusing on working and getting some of the projects done that we have or that we're currently working on. That's a different kit, hey? I think I like that one. As far as connecting with the Zoom calls, I post the links in those 2 Facebook groups, but I do understand that not everybody is, what's the right word? I understand that not everybody is a fan of Facebook, and so if you do want to be included, all you need to do is just email me your address. I will try and remember to send you an email with the link. Of course, you can always reach out to me and ask for it directly. Yeah, you guys, see, I'm just struggling with this kit. I had a feeling this was going to be this way. There's too many white papers. I mean, I'm getting a few, but not as much fun as I thought I would. Actually, let's do this B. So I think the B and this yellow and this black will make a good page. Yeah, or should I do this yellow? No, I don't like this. This is too similar. But I think this and that is too solid. So what happens if we do something like that? So in addition to the Facebook groups as a way to reach out and connect with you, I'm also hoping to plan some additional events like Croptoberfest. Maybe not quite as extensive as Croptoberfest, but something similar. And speaking of that, I do have an event coming up. I am going to be co-hosting we're calling it a Galentine's Crop in February. So it'll be February 4th and 5th, I think. And yeah, it'll be February 4th and 5th. It'll be, we'll have Zoom times on the Friday evening, 1 in the morning on Saturday, and then the afternoon on Saturday as well. And our theme, of course, is going to be around friendship. So what better way than to develop friendships with all of you guys? If you were interested in joining, of course, send me a message, and I will send you the details when we have that. Or if you are part of my Facebook groups, they will be posted there as well. Lots of opportunities to have some time, and then of course we'll see what the rest of the year holds. I don't want to plan too far out in advance, just because you know, stuff can happen, so we want to have a little bit of flexibility. Okay, I'm liking that. I don't know, you guys, maybe another pink. How about that? I don't normally combine 2 light patterns like this, but I think with this really dark pattern, I could make this work. Okay, so that is my plan for 2022. A lot of focus on the stash, working my way through it again, sorting through stuff, possibly purging or having it leave my space, whether it means you know, having opportunities for you guys to that I can send them to you. or they will likely be donated to a local charity if that doesn't pan out. And look forward to some more Zoom crops, again, every second Friday unless otherwise noted, and some more cropping or some more crafting events. And overall, just, you know, trying to stay focused on using what I have. I'm just trying to have a really intentional scrapbook space, I think, or having a really intentional crafting inventory. Stuff that I want to use, that's functional, you know, anything that's broken, doesn't work well, I don't like, for whatever reason, it just needs to go, right? Like, what needs to stay has to be stuff that I want to use. Okay, so I've got a couple more pages here that we can try and make some kits out of. Not too sure about that one, but I do want to use this one with here. I think this one would be fun. Yeah, that would look nice. And what about this gray and this yellow? And maybe we'll throw a pink in here too, because I think I've got a lot of pink left over. There. Okay. I don't remember what I think I did this one, right? So let's do this one, because that's a solid. And we will combine maybe this one with it. Yeah, that looks good. Another one. How about the stripe? This pink with a little bit of the yellow. I need more contrast in here. I think that's part of my problem. We'll throw this foiled in here. Yeah. Okay, my problem, children. Actually, this would probably make a really cool slimline card, maybe. You cut it off? Okay, well, I'm going to put the two of these together. I'm going to throw that in with the green and not that pink. Definitely this yellow. And what about that one? Okay, and then these last three sheets, I am just gonna throw in my stash. So I didn't do too bad. Did not do too bad. If you followed me for any length of time, you know that what I do is I just take a piece of printer paper to separate these. That is from Janet over at RTS Scrapbooking. She is the queen of page kits, and I am just inspired by her. I will go and grab some printer paper, separate these. Now I actually do keep these in the paper pad section. I know that sounds kind of funny, but I will take the paper pad cover and I will put it in the front. I will add a tab and it goes in a bin. So I'm kind of keeping the paper pad as a paper pad, but yet have it already predefined into kits so that I don't have to flip through it. And that has been working surprisingly well for me. I was thinking, well, really, Melanie, then just keep it in the paper pad. But the fact that I've already pre-sorted this out, this one extra step, has made all the world of the difference. Okay, so that is it. That's my plans for 2022. I really encourage you guys to think about what your intentions are for the new year. Where are you at in your crafting life? Are you at a point where you still need to organize, or are you ready to move on and do a lot of creating? I'd also love to hear from you any thoughts as to what you like that I produce or what you would like to see more of. I basically just show whatever it is that I'm doing, no rhyme or reason other than this is what I love to do. So the videoing is just an extension of my hobby, and it's a lot of fun putting it out. I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing your comments or reading your comments And I really, really would like to have more interaction with you all. So please, if you are a fan of Facebook, join our Facebook groups. And if you're not, of course, you can always reach out to me via email if you just want to chat at creativelycraftedlife@gmail.com. And I think that's it for now. Happy New Year's, everyone. And until next time, happy crafting and happy organizing.